The issue, border security. The wedge, the partial government shutdown. The collateral damage, federal employees who didn't get a paycheck yesterday. Yet they refuse to negotiate, sit for serious talks, or work for the safety and security of the American people. Their mantra? There is no crisis at our open, porous borders. Their goal? Destroy Donald Trump. And yesterday, reports are an even larger caravan is staging in Honduras, about to cause an even greater burden on our Border Patrol and the system at large. The president has shown he is capable of negotiating. He has gone from a concrete wall to a steel slat barrier, willing to go with any barrier, any physical barrier that you cannot climb over, crawl under, rappel, or shoot yourself out of a cannon over. He's made concessions from $25 billion to $5 billion, from a concrete barrier to a steel one, promising more personnel, detention beds, using technology and electronics to buttress the security, and money to address the humanitarian needs. In spite of his negotiating, the Democrats refuse to budge. But curiously, there are some Democrats peeling away from the rigid, non-negotiable stance of Nancy Pelosi.
Well, I can tell you we've had fencing in the past. I'm sure we will in the future.
There are places where wall makes sense, but there are a lot of places where it doesn't.
Some fencing, you're saying, is useful.
Some fencing is useless, some barriers are useful.
If we have a partial wall, if we have fencing, if we have technology used to keep our border safe, all of that is fine.
Well, you have to see what you're talking about here. Does it contribute in a smart way to our security? Certain physical barriers can make sense along the border, and in a lot of places, you already have that.
I have a solution. There is no question that President Trump has the authority to declare a national emergency. The controlling case is Youngstown Sheet and Tube versus Sawyer, 343 U.S. 579. The critical operational issue is that only money already authorized and appropriated by Congress can be spent. The only serious source of funds are in the military construction bill. This week, there was some debate whether that money would come from a line item of $13.1 billion covering housing in Afghanistan and Iraq, or a $13.9 billion line for disaster relief. Now, clearly, the $13.1 billion should be the line used, since I doubt we need to build homes in Afghanistan and Iraq. But now expect the Democrats to go forum shopping if that happens in California, where the appeal goes directly to the liberal Ninth Circuit if the president declares an emergency using the military construction funds. Assume they will win, but on an appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States, they will lose under Youngstown. So the only question now is whether or not this is a national emergency, and if you don't think another caravan of thousands moving in a highly organized fashion, similar to military convoys with an advanced party, a main body, and a rear party, that has exhibited violence along the way with migrants in addition to those from Central America, from Africa, Pakistan, Yemen, Afghanistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and more, is a national emergency, then you're out and out crazy. The president has been sitting in the Oval Office since Christmas Eve. He's ready. If the Democrats aren't coming to the table, the time to declare a national emergency is now. And that's my open. If you like my opening statements, you'll love my new book, New York Times #1 bestseller, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy.